Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Not My Task. At the end of December, my old boss stepped down to pursue school, and our new boss took over. Naturally, we were all a bit nervous. Our old boss wasn't exactly the best, and the new one was known for being a stickler for the rules. In early January, I noticed a problem with how tasks were being assigned. The new boss had given Eric a task that was physically impossible for them to complete. We are required to take photos of equipment gauges for our client, but in this case, the gauges were completely out of Eric's reach. I called the new boss to explain the situation and offered to handle the task myself to make sure everything got done properly. I didn't want the company to risk getting fined for incomplete tasks. The boss, however, told me not to worry about it and insisted that Eric should be able to handle it. I said okay, put the phone down and didn't think about it again. Fast forward to 3 days ago. In the app we use for team communication, the boss was furious. Several tasks had not been completed and she demanded explanations. As it turns out, one of those incomplete tasks was the same one I had offered to take care of back in January. The other unfinished tasks were due to some team members being shuffled around after a coworker was terminated, leaving many people untrained for their new responsibilities. Normally, I avoid engaging on the app. I use it just to check my work schedule and log out immediately. I even have notifications turned off. But this time I couldn't stay quiet. The boss was blaming the team and looking for someone to scapegoat, so I decided to address the situation. I replied, "At the beginning of January, I offered to complete this task for you. I explained why it was necessary. You told me not to. Now the task isn't done and you are panicking. Not my task, not my problem." Since then, the boss has been avoiding my calls and won't make eye contact with me. Everyone, including the client, knows that I offer to handle the task, and she doesn't have a defense. Maybe next time she'll listen when someone tries to help. The next story is called Legacy Department. In a nutshell, this business I worked for had built its own in-house software, designed to handle almost every aspect of operations. It covered invoicing, tracking stock, generating reports, semi-automating direct debit billing, and so much more. Essentially managing thousands of smaller processes. To support this system, the company had 3 distinct IT departments. One dealt with hardware and basic IT issues. Another focused on fixing small issues within specific sub-areas of the software. And then there was the legacy team. The legacy team was responsible for maintaining the core of the software and had kept it running smoothly for over 20 years. In an effort to cut costs, senior management decided the legacy team was no longer necessary. After all, they were working on a brand new software system that was supposed to replace the old one within a year or so. As part of this decision, the large office space used by the legacy team was cleared out. This included removing several large filing cabinets, filled with critical manuals, up-to-date documentation, and even older reference materials. The legacy team sent an email to senior management, asking, "Are you sure about this?" After some delay, they received a curt response instructing them to destroy all paperwork. They were also ordered to delete all digital files, to free up space on the shared drive, and wipe their computers back to factory settings. Following these instructions, the legacy team shredded every document, erased every file, wiped their computers, and effectively removed every trace of their work. Once this was done, they moved on to new opportunities. Fast forward 3 months, and a recent power outage has caused a critical issue in the rebooted system. The company is now unable to add items into stock, which means the system can't generate invoices, because you can't sell what you don't have. Without invoices, the automated billing system also doesn't work. As a result, the company has reverted to using pen and paper, shared Excel sheets to track stock, manually typing invoices into templates, and manually cross-checking payments with paper invoices. This has created an enormous backlog of work, requiring significant overtime, just to keep up with daily operations. In desperation, the company reached out to the former legacy team for help. Unfortunately, without the manuals they were instructed to destroy, even the legacy team isn't sure how to fix the system. Meanwhile, the new software system is still at least a year away. On the bright side, 2 of the senior managers now enjoy a spacious office to share, while the rest of the team struggles to keep things running. The third story is called Worker Appreciation. Years ago, I worked in a satellite office for a large department of a massive corporation, with over 300 people in the department. Our office was split between salaried employees with benefits and hourly contractors like myself. The department was run by 2 leaders who created a toxic environment and seemed to take pride in their power. They often referred to themselves as being like sisters. I couldn't resist joking that if you had sisters like them, one of them might end up under Dorothy's house. Like many companies, they loved telling us how much we were valued. Their latest demonstration of this was an appreciation potluck. We were promised surprises and delicious treats prepared by our co-workers. Of course, the catch quickly became clear. The company would only be providing soft drinks. Alcohol wasn't allowed on company property, unless it was under special circumstances. All the food was expected to come from employees. Homemade only, no store-bought items allowed. While it wasn't explicitly stated, the message was clear. Not participating would be noted. It was frustrating. The company didn't provide a budget for the event, and still expected employees to spend their own time and resources to create the illusion that the company cared. For hourly contractors like myself, who didn't even receive benefits, the whole situation felt tone-deaf and insulting. I decided it was time for a wake-up call. 2 days before the potluck, I brought up the issue during a call with my boss. The boss said, "Oh, before we wrap up, I noticed you declined the invite for the potluck tomorrow afternoon. What's going on? I need to leave early tomorrow to cook for the potluck, since I assume you can't authorize overtime for it." Overtime? Yes, my recipe takes about an hour to make, and the potluck itself is another 2 hours after business hours. I was going to leave 3 hours early to stay within my 40-hour work week. Wait, are you saying you expect to get paid for cooking? Half the staff are hourly contractors. Does the company really expect 150 contractors to donate 3 or more hours of their personal time to prepare food for their own appreciation meal? Oh my gosh. Nobody thought of how this looks. She was mostly talking to herself at this point. Or nobody expected anyone to question it. But who's calling attention to this? Oh, you are at your desk where everyone can hear. Correct. I have to go. I felt a little bad for putting her in the hot seat, as she already had a lot on her plate. But I also knew this would escalate the issue to the people who were paid to make better decisions. Sure enough, my comments set off a chain reaction. Back at the main office, people spent the next day and a half scrambling to address the situation. Mission accomplished. In the end, they moved the potluck to lunchtime, during paid hours for contractors, and bought pizzas for our office, though only for our satellite office. We were also instructed not to eat the pizza during the Skype call with other offices, as it might upset the rest of the staff. The last story is called Workplace Discipline. A few years ago, my manager decided to enforce a strict new rule in the name of workplace discipline. The first change was that everyone had to work their exact scheduled hours. No more, no less. If your shift was 9 to 5, you weren't allowed to start even a minute early or stay a minute late. Now, I'm someone who likes to finish what I'm working on, even if it means staying a little past my shift. But rules are rules, so I decided to follow them to the letter. At exactly 5, I started dropping everything. If I was in the middle of a call with a client, I'd say, "Sorry, it's 5. We'll continue this tomorrow." If I was writing an email, I'd save the draft, shut down my computer and head out. My coworkers quickly followed suit, and by 5:01 the office was completely empty every single day. It didn't take long for the cracks to show. Deadlines started slipping, calls were abruptly cut off, and clients began complaining. The chaos caught management's attention, and after about 2 weeks the rule quietly disappeared. We were then told, just do what you need to get the job done. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.